taken you from the Imperial City's prison, first by carriage and now by boat, to the east, to Morrowind. Fear not, for I am watchful. You have been chosen.
Wake up. We're here. Why are you shaking? Are you okay? Wake up. Stand up. There you go. You were dreaming. What's your name? Well, not even last night's storm could wake you. I heard them say we've reached Morrowind. I'm sure they'll let us go. Quiet. Here comes the guard.
This is where you get off. Come with me.
You better do what they say.
The sooner you leave, the sooner we can move on. Yes, confused? We're all waiting.
Get yourself up on deck and let's keep this as civil as possible.
This is where they want you. Head down to the dock and I'll show you to the census office.
You finally arrived, but our records don't show from where. You're out on the frontier now, friend. Imperial rule is secure for the most part, but the local dark elves aren't too happy about it. Please, follow me up to the office, and we'll finish your release.
Yes, we've been expecting you. You'll have to be recorded before you're officially released. There are a few ways we can do this, and the choice is yours. Very good. The letter that preceded you mentioned you were born under a certain sign. And what would that be? They say those born under the sign of the steed are impatient, always hurrying from one place to another. Such is the folly of youth. Now, before I stamp these papers, make sure this information is correct. Show your papers to the captain when you exit to get your release fee.
Continue through to the next building and talk to Celes Gravius.
What do you
for the
think
last
you're
time.
doing?
You've stolen for the
Think
last
you're
time.
doing?
You've
What do
stolen
you
for the
think
last
you're
time.
doing? Gods, not the limeware! No, stop! Get your dirty hands off that platter. Gods, not the limeware!
It wasn't my fault. Really. He just fell over. I hardly touched him. Your papers, please. Yes, Uriel Septim is still the Emperor. According to my instructions, he personally authorized your release from prison and your delivery here. It's all very mysterious, but that's the way the Empire works. Silence, secrecy. Let not the left hand know what the right hand is doing. This package came with the news of your arrival. You are to take it to Caius Cosades in the town of Balmora. Go to the South Wall Corner Club and ask for Caius Cosades. They'll know where to find him. Serve him as you would serve the Emperor himself. I also have a letter for you and a dispersal to your name. Balmora is north of Seda Neen. The road passes Pelagiad Village and Fort Pelagiad, crosses a deep ravine, passes Fort Moonmoth, then turns west across the Odai River and into Balmora. The South Wall Corner Club is in southeast Balmora on the east side of the river. For more detailed directions, talk to Elone the scout at Auril's Trade House here in Seda Neen. But take my advice. You're new here. Take the Silt Strider to Balmora. Fast, cheap, safe. Cross the bridge and head east. Can't miss it. Silt Striders carry passengers and cargo between settlements on Vvardenfell. Fares depend on distance to be traveled. Silt Striders are giant insects. A compartment for passengers and cargo is hollowed from the creature's shell. The driver directs the beast by directly manipulating exposed organs and tissues. Silt Striders travel between Aldrun, Balmora, Seda Neen, Suran, Gnesis, Molag Mar, Margan, and North Landing near Vivek. Grab him! I only have a few moments.
Before the rule of Tiber Septim, all Tamriel was in chaos. The poet Trasisis called that period of continuous unrest days and nights of blood and venom. The kings were a petty lot of grasping tyrants who fought Tiber's attempts to bring order to the land. But they were as disorganized as they were dissolute, and the strong hand of Septim brought peace forcibly to Tamriel. The year was 2 E896. The following year, the emperor declared the beginning of a new era. Thus began the third era, Year Aught. For 38 years, the Emperor Tiber reigned supreme. It was a lawful, pious, and glorious age when justice was known to one and all, from serf to sovereign. On Tiber's death, it reigned for an entire fortnight, as if the land of Tamriel itself was weeping. The emperor's grandson, Pelagius, came to the throne. Though his reign was short, he was as strong and resolute as his father had been, and Tamriel could have enjoyed a continuation of the Golden Age. Alas, an unknown enemy of the Septim family hired that accursed organization of cutthroats, the Dark Brotherhood, to kill the Emperor Pelagius Septim as he knelt at prayer at the Temple of the One in the imperial city. Pelagius Septim's reign lasted less than 3 years. Pelagius had no living children, so the imperial crown passed to his first cousin, the daughter of Tiber's brother, Agnorith. Kintyra, former queen of Silvanar, assumed the throne as Kintyra I. Her reign was blessed with prosperity and good harvests,
What, stranger?
and she herself was an avid patroness of art, music, and dance. Kintyra's son was crowned after her death, the first emperor of Tamriel to use the imperial name Uriel. Uriel I was the great lawmaker of the Septim dynasty and a promoter of independent organizations and guilds.
If you can't afford
Under
decent
his kind
clothing,
but
I'm not
firm
sure we
hand,
should be
The
talking.
Fighters Guild and the Mages Guild increased in prominence throughout Tamriel. His son and successor Uriel II reigned for 18 years, from the death of Uriel I in year 64 of the
You're
Third
insane and
Era
mean. You're
to
new here.
Pelagius Septim's
So what do you want
accession
from me?
in year 82 of the Third Era. Tragically, the rule of Uriel II was cursed with blights, plagues, and insurrections. The tenderness he inherited from his father did not serve Tamriel well, and little justice was done. Pelagius II inherited not only the throne from his father, but the debt from the latter's poor financial and judicial management. Pelagius dismissed all of the elder council and allowed only those willing to pay great sums to resume their seats. He encouraged similar acts among his vassals, the kings of Tamriel, and by the end of his 17-year reign, Tamriel had returned to prosperity. His critics, however, have suggested that any advisor possessed of wisdom but not of gold had been summarily ousted by
Come on, I haven't got all day, you know. These dark elves are a grim bunch. No fun at all. I only have a few moments. Ever consider joining the Legion?
Are you the one that boat dropped off? Odd to see a boat arrive at that time. I swear one of the guards has it. I had it last week before their weekly Let's Shake Down Fargoth ritual. An engraved healing ring, family heirloom of mine. You haven't seen it, have you? You found it! Amazing! Thank you, thank you. You are now my favorite friend. I'll be sure to tell the others, especially my friend Ariel, who runs the trade house here. Go see him. He'll be happy to see you now. Yes, thank you for finding it. Those guards better look out!
Let's get this over with quickly.
Spit it out or hit the road.
I barter for goods or coin. I also have a small selection of spells for sale. You want a little advice? That's free. That's all that's free.
Red diamond, the heart and soul of man. Red diamond, protect us till the end. The laughing heart sprayed blood afar, a gout seared fell, and like a dart shot to its mark, down in an alien well. Magic fused the Lord can blood to crystal red and strong. Then wild elves cut and polished it down to chimera the fall. Red diamond, the heart and soul of man. Red diamond, protect us till the end. When elves lost nerve to man, Akatos saved the soul. To Saint Alash token of right to sit the throne. Red diamond, the heart and soul of man. Red diamond, protect us till the end. When Agathos slew Lorcan,
It just stood there, holding its tail and whispering. What did it say?
Tamriel, and the heart was heard to shout. Red diamond, the heart and soul of man. Red diamond.
It just stood there, holding its tail and whispering. What did it say?
The laughing heart sprayed blood afar, a gout seared fell, and like a dart shot to its mark, down in an alien well. Magic fused the Lorcan blood to crystal red and strong. Then wild elves cut and polished it out to chimela the ball. Red diamond, the heart and soul of men. Red diamond, protect us till the end. When elves lost Nern to man, Akatosh gave the stone to Saint Alesh in token of her right to sit the throne. Red diamond, the heart and soul of men. Red diamond, protect us.
Spit it out or hit the road. Spit it out or hit the road.
You look like you could use a friend, Outlander. Perhaps I can be your friend. I'd like you to help me recover some gold. Excellent. Here's what I want you to do. I'm not sure where he goes, but I know he wanders around town at night. Watch his movements. The best vantage point is on top of the lighthouse south. I've just got to find where he's hiding his loot. On your way.
The poets are right. There is something life-changing about being in love, said Kepkadina Gra Min Fang, sometimes called the Wraith. I haven't wanted to rob anyone or anything in weeks. Why, the other day I saw the door wide open at a wealthy merchant's house, but my mind was fully occupied with what I should wear on my wedding day. You have been out of the right society for very long now, frowned her friend Kargol approvingly. You never told me what happened to your first husband. You know, the one the shaman gave you. Torn apart by ash ghouls, smiled Kepkaina dreamily. It was rather saddish, but I know nothing like that would happen to Wodvorg. No life of adventure for him. He's practically an Imperial. In fact, he is one. Did I tell you how we met? Hundreds of times, grumbled Kargol, reaching for his flagon. He was your jailer, and he refused you food until you promised to marry him. Have you ever heard of anything so madly romantic in all your life? Sighed Kepkaina, and then grew serious. I was going to say that I hope my old friends will wish me well, but as old Bosriel used to say, there's no point in hoping for what cannot be. We'll leave with the Imperial Knights for Balmora immediately after the wedding, but as long as we're in Vvardenfell, the gang will find some way of disrupting my love life and bring me back to the light. I know it. As the days approached towards the Wraith's wedding day, there was certainly something sinister in the air that Kepkajna could smell when she was not transported by heady bliss. Dark figures seemed to shift in the shadows and disappear when approached. She recognized the clothing of some beggars near Wodvorg's cottage as costumes, but the mendicants hurried away before she could recognize which of her old gang was stalking her. But these moments of apprehension were few. Kepkadna was truly happy, making arrangements for the ceremony to be performed at the very dungeon where Wodvorg had imprisoned her. Her father was long since dead, another victim of the ash ghouls, but her fiancé's commander volunteered to act in his behalf. Of course, Kepkaina had to supply her own dowry. She spent every last mark of her savings of ill-gotten gain to buy her beloved a truly wonderful present. The wedding was set for the stroke of midnight, as is Orc tradition. The handmaidens, wives of imperial officers, were busily sewing her into her gown of red velvet and fine gold filigree in the mid-morning. Dolcetta, one of the handmaidens, remarked that she had heard that Kepkagna had bought Wodvorg a truly beautiful gift for her dowry. "Let me show it to you," Kepkagna giggled, dashing from the room, half-dressed to her hidden alcove. The present had been stolen. The women were horrified, but the wraith found herself merely irritated, not surprised. This was truly the old gang's style. They knew that a wedding ceremony without a dowry was marked as unlucky. She asked her handmaidens to finish dressing her quickly, while she pondered what the burglars would have done with her treasure. The whole region was honeycombed with secret lairs and abandoned sites thieves used to store their loot. There were obvious places, of course, but after much reflection, she thought of where she would have put it under similar circumstances. Once the handmaids had finished, Kepkagna bade them to make certain that the ceremony went on as scheduled, and not to fret, as she might be a little late. She wrapped herself in a shawl to protect her gown from dungeon dust and set off for the shrine of Malakath. The wraith had never before attempted to rob her own friends, and though she was peeved at them for trying to ruin her happiness, she had no interest in hurting them physically. Her style was to avoid conflict, though she knew it would be inevitable. The lessons her mentor Kargol had given her had helped her avoid the lances and blades of guards and imperial knights over the years. Now she would see if they would allow her to survive a den of thieves and the unknown dangers of the shrine, without, most importantly, ruining her dress. The desolate place was so empty as she delved into it that she feared she might have made a miscalculation. It was not until she found the small room hidden down a long corridor that she knew she was at the right place, and that it was well suited for an ambush. She grabbed the chest with her treasure within and turned to face the assault. Two of her old gang, Yoram and Yor-Ai, the Redguard twin brother and sister, were outside the door as she came from the room. They knew the wraith better than to taunt her, and immediately attacked. Yoram struck out with a left thrust of his blade, while Yor-I sought to rush her. The wraith neatly sidestepped Yor-I, while dropping her weight to her rear left leg, shifting her right shoulder to the left to slip past Yoram's strike. The twins crashed into one another, and Kepkagna passed swiftly on. Almost immediately she was set on by the Argonian Binyar, his mace whistling through the air at her head. They had never much liked one another. The wraith snapped into a duck, so the mace whacked with a tremendous clamour against the stone wall. Binyar was thrown off balance, giving her a few seconds' lead, hurrying up the passage. Ahead, she could smell the fresh night air. The last of her dowry's defenders was Sorokth, an orc with whom she had shared a brief romance. It was he who Kepkagna knew had masterminded the theft. In a way, and in context, she thought, his devotion to her misery was rather sweet. At the moment, though, she was most concerned with avoiding his barbed axe that seemed ideal for breaking her dress's fine stitchwork and the flesh beneath. Bending her knees slightly, bobbing to avoid strikes to the head, weaving her head to confuse Sorokth of her next move, shuffling her feet arrhythmically, the wraith made an impossible target. She ducked inside his thrusts, sidestepped his swings, and then sidestepped his thrusts and ducked his swings. As erratic as she tried to make her defensive moves, Sorokth still kept pace with her, refusing to budge from his position at the dungeon outlet. Midnight was coming, and the wraith finally decided that she must end the confrontation. When Sorokth swung out next, she sidestepped to her left, swayed down, and ducked her head, so the axe whistled over her right shoulder. In that instant, his right side was exposed, and she reluctantly smashed the chest hard into his torso. There was not enough time for Kepkagna to see if she had killed him or merely knocked him unconscious. In truth, she thought of nothing else but rushing to her wedding ceremony. At precisely midnight, Wodvorg and Kepkagna were united together. He was delighted with her dowry gift, a fine suit of armour that would make him the envy of other imperial jailers. Even more, he was enchanted by his wife's tale of retrieving it from the shrine of Malakath. "Did it occur to you to put on the armour when you knew that it was an ambush?" he asked. "I didn't want to dent your present," she replied between kisses, and I certainly didn't want to wrinkle my gown.
On your way.
Make it quick, Breton. There's someone watching me. I can tell.
Care to trade?
Shines through. Warrior goddess, for you we strike true. When hope is lost and war rages on, warrior goddess, hear our blessed song. With a Norn's death fallen in battle, warrior goddess, guide us through shadow. Grant us courage to fight and sharpen.
I don't have a lot of patience for questions, Outlander.
You were supposed to find You found his hiding place? That's great. Tell you what, I'll give you 100 gold, and you can keep anything else that you found in there. Thanks for your help.
Talk with you? Something tells me I might regret it.
Whatever you're looking for, I'm sure I don't know how to...
Yes, what do you want? New here? Take the Silt Strider to Vivek or Balmora. Fast and cheap, no trouble with wild animals, and smugglers and bandits, and outlaws. Go see Darva Mechlaren over at the Strider Port, over the bridge and east along the water, and tell her Vodunius Nucius sent you.
We make a special trip just for you. Same low price.
You're still poking around in Sedanine? Not happy here? In fact, no, I'm not. If I had 100 drakes, I'd be on the next boat to Narcissus. I came here to make my fortune, and all I've got is this cursed ring. Say, would you give me 100 drakes for it? The ring itself is worth more than that, but the enchantment is cursed and no one will buy it from me. It has a nifty little enchantment that helps you run faster. Problem is, it sucks the blood right out of you every time you use it. Please? You'll be doing me a real favor. Thank you. You're a lifesaver. I'll head straight to Vivek and grab the next boat out of here. I think that's the
Spit
fastest
it out or
way
hit
off
the
this
road.
island. Thanks again, and I hope your luck here is better than mine was.
I haven't much time, so murdered? What a waste. Processus was a good man. I'd been wondering why we hadn't heard from him in a few days. Still, these are dangerous times we live in, and these sorts of things will happen. Did you happen to find the tax money he'd collected? I hate to be so callous, but I do have a job to do. You did? How odd that he was murdered but not robbed. Your honesty is appreciated, I can tell you that. I won't forget this. In fact, if you're looking for some money for yourself, I'd like to see the murderer of Processus punished. Killing an emperor's tax collector is punishable by death. Find his murderer, bring him to justice, and the Census and Excise Office will pay you 500 septums.
I'm an officer of the Imperial Legion. Move along. We heard. He was a good man, and his murder should be avenged. The most disciplined and effective military force in history, the Imperial Legions preserve the peace and rule of law in the Empire.
I don't have a lot. Processus murdered. No, tell me it's not so. He was the gentlest man I've ever met. He and I had become so close in the past few months. I don't know what I will do without him. I've only seen him get angry once or twice and never raised a hand to anyone. This is so sad. Well, not even angry, I suppose. I saw him arguing once with foreign Gilneth about his taxes. He thought Processus had been levying too much and skimming off the top for himself. Ridiculous! Processus wouldn't have done such a thing, I'm sure of it. Please find out what happened, friend. And if you find out what became of Processus's ring, it would ease my heart. I gave him the ring many months ago, and it was dear to him. I would like it to remember him by.
I applaud your creativity, but guar blankets aren't for wearing.
Pathetic creature. You should learn to dress yourself before venturing out. You're one of them, huh? Come to kill me? Well, give it your best shot. I've no problem spilling more of the blood of the Emperor's lackeys.
Don't stand about.
Is it necessary that you speak with me?
Don't stand about.
Pathetic creature. You should learn to dress yourself before venturing out.
I barter for goods or coin. I also have a small selection of spells for sale. You want a little advice? That's free. That's all that's free.
To Gold Harbor went our clockwork gone, to bargain on the princess' sword. They came to mock at tribune small, schemer, hunger, hunter all, pariah, scryer, destroyer came, raver and twilight just the same. From dread Daedra save us, from Daedra keep us safe. Forsake the ones that made us to fight a wrongful fate. They sneered when Clockwork made his demand, till Twilight raised a hand. And what do you offer in return to keep us from chastising Nern? The Clockwork whispered long and low, and what he said no mortal can know. From dread Daedra save us, from Daedra keep us safe. Forsake the ones that made us to fight a wrongful fate. Poor Vvardenfell, we still
Spit it out or hit the road.
The god of schemes consumed it all. To Gold Harbor went our...
I don't have a lot of patience for questions, Outlander.